So Avatar The Last Airbender is getting a Netflix live-action TV series reboot with the original creators Michael DiMartino and Brian Konietzko. Now lots of people are excited, but then others are anxious. But what I want to know is, what comes after this live action? Is it more series? Is it more live actions? And that's what today's episode is going to be. 5 things to come after the Avatar The Last Airbender live action series. Just to put this out there before I start this video, everything that I'm going to be saying is my own opinion, so if you do differ from what I'm saying, please leave a comment down below. I'd love to know what you guys are thinking or what you prefer to have as a live action series. I'm going to start with my list, and so the 5th thing that I would love to have as a follow-up series to this Avatar live action is a new Avatar series, whether it be in animation or live action. Don't really care, I just want a new Avatar. And what would be great about this is that it would be an earthbender Avatar, as Earth is the next element in the Avatar cycle. So I'd be intrigued to see what sort of person they are, and would we come up earlier in their life, later in their life? Would they be more developed? Would they have their abilities more so? What would the new world be like? Because we don't know how long Korra is going to live for. Will there be a lot of dramatic changes as there were in the Legend of Korra series in comparison to Aang's time? Obviously in Legend of Korra they seem to have hit like an industrial age. We've got cars, we've got planes, we've got more based warships, we've got more technology in general. What differences will come about in this Avatar's time? Will there be more reliance on technology? Will bending not be as important? That would be an interesting thing. Also, you know, Brian and Michael, I do have an idea for a series, so if you do want to, you know, contact me about that and get me involved with the writing process, totally down for that. You can get the links to my Instagram down below, or, you know, you just leave a comment and I can get back to you and send you my email. That'd be great, because I really want to write this. But yeah, it'd just be really interesting to see what this new Avatar would be like, how different they would be from Korra and Aang. Would they be quite similar? And also with the Legend of Korra series, they would really only be able to contact Korra at this point, because all the connections to all the past avatars have been lost. So it'd be interesting to see what goes on with that. The next thing that I would like to come up, which is number 4, this one is technically kind of already being done, as there is going to be a graphic novel series based on this, and that is Avatar Kyoshi based series. Now again, this could be live action or animation, I really don't mind, but I want to know more about Avatar Kyoshi. She is literally one of the most badass avatars in my opinion, just from the small little snippets that we see of her in Avatar The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra. Now, and in the graphic novels we also learn of Legend of Korra, we learn that she was bisexual, so had both male and female lovers. I want to know more about that. I would love to have, from the start of a series, a canon bisexual character at the head of it. Because obviously with Legend of Korra they got to put it at the end, but they weren't allowed to put it throughout the whole thing, which was great that they did have it, but you know, it'd be great to have a bi icon from the very beginning. And she also lived to, well, I think she lived to 200 or 300 years old. That's awesome. I want to know like her routine to live that long, and just in general learn more about the things that she did in her time as Avatar. Like we learn about her time with I can't remember the guy's name now, the Conqueror guy from that Avatar episode where Aang has to stand trial for Kyoshi's crimes. I want to learn more about Kyoshi Island. Did she stay on Kyoshi Island after she made it? What else she did as Avatar? What sort of trials did she face? What sort of villains did she face? It's just things like that. I would like to know a lot more about this Avatar, and just the things that she did in her time as Avatar would be great. Like we've gotten little bits of Roku's past, but not much about Kyoshi. I'd like to know more. Well, I'm interested also to read the graphic novel series, which comes out, I think, May next year sometime, and you can pre-order it now, so I'll put the link to the pre-order in the description box below for anyone who does want to pre-order it. I'll move on to the next one now, and the 3rd one I would like to see is a live action The Promise, which for anyone who doesn't know is the graphic novel follow-up to the Avatar The Last Airbender series about Zuko finding out what happened to his mum. Now, the Promise graphic novel is split into, I think, 2 or 3 parts, and it's all about Zuko, Aang and the guys' journey to find out where Zuko's mother went, what happened to her. I'm not going to give too many spoilers about it in case anyone hasn't read the graphic novels and doesn't know what happened to his mother, but I would love to see that, because that was a huge thing that was like still a cliffhanger in the series, and that happens in the last episode as well. It's like he asks his dad, where is my mother? And it cuts off, and I'm like, no, I want to know. And they do the same thing in Legend of Korra in like the first or second episode. It's like, what happened to Zuko's mum? And Katara goes, well, that is a brilliant story. And then Iki interrupts, and I'm like, fucking Iki, what are you doing? I wanted to know. Which obviously I did because I read the graphic novels, but you know, everyone was probably thinking the same thing. But I would love to see that in live action. And if they can't get Dante Basco to be in the series, even for this live action Avatar series, Dante Basco needs to be in it. He is the greatest. He doesn't even have to play Zuko, just have him play someone. I love this man. He needs to be in an Avatar thing again. But off the side of that rant, I would love to see a live action The Promise and just see what happened with it and kind of learn about that, because that was the cliffhanger of the series, and that is something that everyone always wondered about until the graphic novel came out. So it'd be interesting to see how it works, and we get to see all of our favourite characters again. We get to see Azula again, which I absolutely loved, because Azula is one of my favourite characters, even though she's a bit mental, but it's a gay thing. We love our villain ladies. And yeah, I would love to see this in live action. The next one, so I can't remember what number I'm on now. Number 2, the second thing that I would like to see is an Avatar 1 series. Now, this I would definitely want to have in animation, particularly the animation they used for the Avatar 1 series in Legend of Korra Book 2. I want to know more about what he does. So we see kind of like the basis of how he becomes the Avatar and things like that. But I would like to know more of what he does after becoming the first Avatar. So we see him at the end of his life saying he failed the world because he couldn't save everyone, he couldn't make a difference in his time. But I would like to see the things that he did go on to do after becoming the Avatar. And I think that'd be really interesting, and considering the art style that they did use for the animation, I think it'd be really interesting to experience that as an audience member, the painted sort of artistic, so the whole thing was artistically beautiful, and the story is interesting as well. I kind of want to know more about Wan's adventures and his relationship with Rava, because the whole thing is that they are connected and he was able to talk to Rava, which is something that the Avatars later on obviously didn't know about until Korra, because as they go into the next life they don't really remember anything from the past until they connect with the previous Avatar spirit. But either it was kind of forgotten throughout time, but either way I want to know more about Wan's adventures and the things that go on in the life, and what happens to the lion turtles as well. Like, we see that not everyone really left the lion turtle homes, so I kind of want to know what goes on from there. I want to know, because obviously with it, the lion turtles gave humans the ability to control the elements, so where did the story of the badger moles and the dragons and stuff like that come with giving the elements, or was it just like a teaching side from it, so they helped develop their abilities and things like that? Just in general, I want to know more. So I'll stop ranting about that one, but that would be a great series to do, and that one I think would definitely have to be animation. I don't think it would work in any other way than animation. Unlike the other various ones, I think it works better as animation than live action in general. And the next and final one, which is my number 1. Now this one, it's not a series per se, but it's something that I would like to see done kind of maybe even as a general spin-off from the Avatar live action that they're doing, and that is one-off specials episodes. Kind of like the Tales of Ba Sing Se sort of thing, but with the characters that we don't see, what was that voice? That we don't see much of, and kind of like in the final bits, and kind of get their sort of happy endings. So I kind of want to have a special spin-off for Azula, after she kind of leaves after a while, and see kind of what she goes on to do in her life. I want to see Ty Lee and her work with the Kyoshi Warriors. I want a whole special to do with the Kyoshi Warriors in general. I want to know about, I can't remember the name of the family in general, but in the Serpent's Pass episode in Avatar The Last Airbender, we meet the pregnant woman, her husband, and someone else, and she goes on to have the child that she calls Hope. I would like to have like maybe even like a little special about what's going on with those guys, because obviously they get to Ba Sing Se, it's then taken over by the Fire Nation. I want to know what happened to them. I think it'd be great to kind of get these little one-offs, even something to do with like May, or even just more about the characters themselves. I wouldn't mind having that with The Legend of Korra as well, or even maybe having like Avatar specials, so like all the previous avatars that we know about, having a one-off special to do with their lives. I think something like that would be really interesting, like in maybe half-hour special for each character, or do it like the Tales of Ba Sing Se and do like that 10-minute sort of story for each of them, but do kind of multiple specials, so you've got all these different characters in each of them. I think that would be a really interesting thing to do, which I think lots of people will be interested in knowing what happened to these characters, what these characters were like. And yeah, I think it would be a really interesting thing to see. I think that would be another one that would really only work as animation, in the style that they were using for Avatar and Legend of Korra. I think it would be something that people would possibly be interested in, because lots of people's stories were kind of left not really knowing what's going to happen with these guys, but we kind of got connected to them, especially with like the Hope family. We obviously see the Fire Nation taking over, but we don't know what happens to them, so I'd love to know what did happen to them. Ty Lee, we do know, joins the Kyoshi Warriors. I want to know how well she gets on with them. I want to know what happens to Azula after she's captured. Does she go to prison? Like, I know we know a little bit about what happens in The Promise, but maybe even have something that happens after The Promise with her. It'd be really interesting to learn these sort of things about the characters and kind of have like a final sort of moment for them. But yeah, those are my 5 things that I would love to see after the Avatar The Last Airbender live action Netflix series. As I said at the start, is there anything you guys would like to see? Is there any character you would like to have their own series, or anything like that, or even something you'd like to see in the Avatar the live action series? Would you like things slightly changed in the series so it's not completely identical to the animation? Is there any things that you'd like to see missed out? Do you think they're going to do the entire series, or do you think they're going to do it season by season, or what do you think is going to happen? Because I have no idea, but I'm intrigued to see what will happen. Are you guys excited for it? You know, just let me know in the comment section down below. Let's talk about this. Let's get invested, because I, for one, am so excited to see it, and I can't believe I have to wait for 2 years to see it, because it's coming out in 2020, and that's so long. I want it now. So I'm going to go watch Avatar The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra now, and read all the graphic novels, because I need more Avatar in my life now. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate all of your support. If you do want to support me further, the link to my Patreon is down below, where you can get extra content and all of that fun stuff. If you're not following my Instagram, the link is also down there in the description box as well. I don't know what's happening to my voice, it's getting a lot higher, but I'm going to go with it. Or went deep again then. If you're not ready to subscribe to my YouTube, the button is down there as well. You can click the one popping up here on screen. If you want to see any of my previous videos, there will be suggestions popping up here for you lovely folks. Now I want to thank you guys so much again for watching this video. Me and Appa are going to go watch some more Avatar videos, and we'll see you guys next time.